Gamecast from MSN.
In association with Windows Internet Explorer 8.
All right, well, hello and welcome to the MSN Tech and Gadget Gamecast. This is Jane Douglas, your host, and one of the MSN Tech and Gadgets editors, but not for long. This is my last podcast.
What?
I'm very sad to say, yes.
Why? What's happening? What?
I'm moving on Tuesday of next week.
You could have told us.
I'm telling you now, Ian, I'm telling you now.
Did you know about this, Nick?
It's come as a complete
I'm
surprise.
out of here.
Unbelievable.
World first.
Wow.
Breaking the news. Anyway, but you'll still have Nick Taylor, who is also here with us.
I am indeed. Hello.
And Ian Lee.
I mean,
Devastated.
So it's just me and you next time, is it, Nick?
It looks that way, yeah.
It's going to be a bit blokey and a bit horrible.
Well, I think so, yeah.
Anyway, well, Jane, let's make the most of you
Please.
while you're here.
Right.
Let's start off, as we always do, with what have we been playing this month. Can I go first?
Yes.
I haven't been playing a lot. I've not had much time. I've had a little bit of Halo Wars. I've gone back to Halo Wars, but I've not played anything new or anything exciting. I've missed out. I was supposed to go to Red Dead Redemption?
Yep.
I was supposed to go to a Red Dead Redemption playthrough thing, and I forgot to go, which is right. I know it's terrible, isn't it? But you've been and played it, have you, Nick?
I have, yeah.
Is it any good?
Times. Yep, I'm liking the look of it so far.
This is the Cowboys, Grand Theft Auto Cowboy style.
Yeah, that's the shorthand for it. It's a huge open world game set in the Wild West. So you get to be an outlaw, basically, running around the Wild West doing pretty much whatever you like.
And how is it good? Because there've been a few cowboy games before that have been a little bit disappointing.
But there haven't been many, have there? It seems to be
untapped
a
genre
that people don't seem to have used very much. But yeah, it's if you like GTA, you're going to like it. It's got enough about it that is different from GTA that it's not just a skin over the top of that.
Yeah.
But at its core, it works in a pretty similar way. You've got the open world and you're guided by missions, and you'll open up different areas of the world as you get deeper into the game.
Yeah.
Loads of different weapons to choose from,
But guns, I guess, mainly.
Yeah, the guns are really cool though, because you've got like you've got like a scoped rifle type thing, which is a bit like a sniper rifle. But when you look down the scope of it, it's all grimy and like and slightly warped because it's like really old glass.
Cowboy guns don't really do a lot, do they? You've got your 6-shooter, your rifle.
Yeah.
And that's it.
But then you've got other things that there's like cannon encampments that you can take over.
Okay.
And, so you can blow up the horse and carriages that are coming up the track.
Please tell me there's a lasso feature.
There certainly is. Yes. You can lasso direct from your horse and
totally hooked by that. That sounds awesome.
Is there a bow and arrow?
I haven't seen a bow and arrow.
Multiplayer is supposed to be very good.
Yeah. But that's the event that I went along to that probably is the one that you slept through.
Yeah, I did. I was actually asleep while it was going. Isn't that terrible? I know. Jane's looking at me with disgust. How could
what
you?
What happened?
You know, I just, you know when you fall asleep and stuff and don't wake up.
Yes, that happened.
Was that enough? But so I can't lie. So it was good.
Yeah, it's good. There's several different modes that you can play through as usual with multiplayer. The one that stood out for me, first of all, I think it was called Gold Rush, and you're on a limited map, and you've got a load of gold bags crop up all over the map, and you can have up to 16 people, I think, playing at a time.
Beautiful.
And the idea is that you have to grab the bag and take it to the nearest chest to like bank it, and the player with the most bags is the winner, like sort of to a set level. But you move slower as you're holding the bag, so people can take you out and then they can steal it. Or you can choose to take 2 if you want, and then you move really slowly for being greedy.
This is coming out of May,
greater reward. Yes,
I'm excited about this. I'm smelling fun. I can smell something. Is it fun? Something.
Let's call it fun.
Let's call it fun. Now listen, you played loads of games, so I'm going to go over to Jane, and then we'll come back to you in a minute. Jane, have you played anything?
I have. I've been playing the Left 4 Dead 2 passing DLC.
This is where they get to meet.
They pass.
Oh
no, that's not what it refers to actually in the end. But no spoilers here. Yeah, it's downloadable content for the second game.
Yes,
but with the characters from the first game making sort of cameo appearances.
Okay,
and it's rather good. It's like 560 points. And it's quite short. But then Left 4 Dead is never about the length of a single playthrough. It's about replayability. So
I
I'm
have
happy
not
with
enjoyed
that.
Left 4 Dead 2 at all. As you know, it was
I do know.
Left 4 Dead we couldn't stop raving about. And I had another go this month, actually, at Left 4 Dead 2, and I just found it a little bit cold and soulless. In the same way that I found Rainbow Six Vegas 2 not as good as the first one, and it added nothing. In fact, it only detracted from it a little bit, I thought. So, a bit disappointed there.
Okay.
Really.
All right. Well, I can't sell you on that one. What else? I won't sell you on the Mass Effect 2 downloadable content either. Then, will
I'll keep
I?
quiet.
So,
So I don't like being all negative, so I'm going to
fine.
keep quiet. But go on, what is it? What is in the...
It's another character and another loyalty mission.
Okay.
And some bits and pieces, some equipment. So I know I'm not going to sell you on it, but it's good fun. And
my friend
sorry.
Geeky Tom, sorry, no, he raves about Mass Effect 2, and every time he mentions we mention it, he just sneers at me for not getting it. But I don't. It is.
I don't sneer at you, Ian.
No, you don't sneer. You're not a sneerer.
No, maybe it's not for everyone. Although I think. Did you? I mean, you tried the first one, and you didn't get on
Tried
with
the
it.
first one, I found
but
it
the second one you
tedious.
didn't try.
No.
Because, well, it might be worth having a bash on
In the
because
same way
it's
that
much
Heavy
more
Rain was.
action. It's much more action
Okay.
oriented. It's kind of
Okay.
less. It's more RPG light. So if that's what was kind of turning you off the first one, maybe the second one will be a little.
It was that thing. You
fun
go
for
and
you.
talk to the. Do you want to talk to the captain? Yes. The captain offers you a mission. Do you want to do the mission? Do you not want to do the mission? I'll do the mission. You're doing the mission. Do you want to go and kill the aliens or ignore? I'll kill the aliens. And that seemed to be pretty much it. I
Okay.
thought of the first one.
Well, fair dues.
Bit of tension in the air today, isn't there? A little bit. I like it.
That's not going down well.
No, I like it. You wait till I get onto World of Warcraft. Yes, go on. Sorry.
Splinter Cell Conviction, which I think Nick was playing as well, so that's one of his. I finished the single player. I had to go on the co-op stuff as well, which is really, really good.
Yeah,
and
I haven't
I'm
touched
surprised
co-op
by
yet,
how much
actually.
I enjoyed it because I'm not really a Splinter Cell fan.
Oh, I
per
do like a bit of
se.
Splinter Cell.
I'm not that good at stealth games even,
Yeah.
but no, I enjoyed it a lot. I had a good time.
You say you've completed it. How
yeah,
long
it's
did that
not
take you?
terribly long single player game.
Okay.
It's like sort of 8 to 10 hours. something
When do you
like
get the
that.
time to complete? You complete a lot of games, both of you. I've been meaning to ask you this for a while.
I don't watch a lot of television.
Do you not?
I think it's my sort of replacement for watching a lot of television. So yeah.
okay.
So that's how I fit that in. I don't know about Nick. He doesn't sleep or something.
No, I sleep a lot. Most of the time, but no, I just fit it in. Yeah, I don't watch much telly either, unless it's the football. So
You've been in a funky chateau in France, haven't you?
I have indeed. Yes,
Playing video games. This
Yeah.
is living the dream.
Well, you weren't
yeah.
playing them, per
That's,
se.
yeah, stretching it a little bit. I didn't actually get to play anything.
Watching other people play video games.
Looking.
Okay.
It was a showcase of Bethesda titles,
Right.
that we were looking at. So the main one, the big headline grabber, is Fallout New Vegas.
You must have. I need to say something very rude there. You must have been incredibly excited at that, as you're a Fallout fan.
I am, yeah. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed Fallout 3.
Yeah.
And this is the follow-up to Fallout 3. Not strictly a sequel, as you can tell by the fact that it's not called Fallout 4. But it's a follow-up, and it's obviously set in the remains of Las Vegas after this apocalyptic nuclear war that's happened.
Yeah.
But apparently Vegas hasn't been hit quite as badly as Washington was. So there's a blue sky there, which you never saw in Fallout 3. You come out and there's actually a blue sky. Little bits of vegetation still about. So it's not going to be quite as bleak and dark, although it's still pretty dusty.
Are all the casinos intact and you can go and see the old
this is it.
monuments?
They haven't built that bit yet.
Oh, that's the best
really?
part. Okay.
Yeah, they haven't built the strip yet.
Okay.
So what we saw was the beginning part of the game as you decide on your character, which is very nicely done, and much shorter than it was in Fallout 3
Right.
as well. You're done with all that bit in about 5 or 10
Oh,
minutes.
good. That stuff underground.
yeah.
That was
You
didn't
just-
like that part.
Well, that was
I
what
remember.
put me off. And then I got outside for 10 minutes. And I thought, I've spent 2 hours doing this. I can't be bothered now. It was very
Yeah.
tedious.
It was
It's
quite
good that they've
drawn out,
shortened
wasn't
that.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This time it's just this doctor has rescued you. Basically, you've been shot in the head and left for dead somewhere outside Vegas, and he's rescued you and fixed you up.
Are you the same character?
No.
Okay.
There's no crossover at
Okay.
all between the two storylines, and they say because of the distance involved, because there's no transport or anything anymore. So
Are you a former
totally
vault
different.
dweller as well?
No, you're not that either. Which gives them the option to age you as well, like because because you're not sort of going through this thing of being born and coming out of the vault. You can be any age at all. So as you
I
choose
see.
your character, you
Age is one
can
of the
select which
options.
age you want to be up to about
Excellent.
the age of 60 or something. Just like, sort of gives you quite a lot
It
of
should be like
options
a
for how your
difficulty,
character looks.
like, you know, harder difficulty, age 60, roaming around Vegas.
Hey, there are some
yeah.
very sprightly 60-year-olds. The 60-year-olds listening to this will be furious with you.
Oh, well, I was just saying,
If
it
we
might
have
be a
any.
challenge.
It might
you know,
be, yeah.
post-apocalyptic wasteland as a 60-year-old is
Getting
slightly
your
tricky.
bifocals out before you take a shot.
I didn't say that, 60-year-olds. I'm on your side this time. I'm on your side, I said. So they can hear us.
But yeah, it's looking good. It's doesn't look hugely different from Fallout 3. It's the same engine. It's just been tweaked here and there from what we've seen so far, anyway. But there's enough that's new about it that has been shown already that should make it really, really cool. I think probably the main thing is this hardcore mode that they've added in, so that you can make it. Just ramp up the difficulty basically. Right at the start, you can choose to put on hardcore mode, and it will make it harder for you to recover your character. Like you get these stim packs, and if you use one of those, it doesn't instantly make you all better. It takes time, and ammo weighs. It takes up some of the weight in your bag, so you can only carry a certain amount of ammo around with you. All these sort of things are added to it, and if you play through the whole game on hardcore, you get a special achievement at the end. Which is
Like maybe a lot of points.
yeah, probably will be.
I keep meaning to go back to Fallout 3 and have a go on it, because I think I did miss out on that one. That's one of the few where I would go, I should have given it a bit longer once I was outside and the game actually started proper.
Yeah,
I think so. I will. You were never a big Fallout 3 fan, were you?
No, I like Fallout
Did you?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get through all the DLC. There was tons of it. I think I did the first two packs and that's it. But no, I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the Vegas one. I think it might be a little more fun. I like the idea of the Strip.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, we really need to see the Strip to see.
I'm not familiar with the
what it's
Washington
about.
area, so maybe Vegas will be a little more recognisable to me, and that'll help.
When's it coming? Is this a summer release, autumn?
No, we don't have a date on this
Okay.
yet at the moment, so it's to be decided.
Okay. Any others that either of you? I feel
I
I
went to,
might as well go home. You can just do this both yourself. I've not played anything. Go on.
Oh,
No, I'll stick around if you. I don't mind. It's just.
okay, fine. I went to an Alan Wake event, and I played some Alan Wake there. You know, you've seen much about it?
I'm aware of.
You're
Yes,
aware of it.
I'm aware
Well,
of
it's been
it.
like in 5 years in the making, so
Yes.
you probably heard about it.
Yeah,
but-
they've been talking about this for a long time.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it ever going to come out?
No, it's out. It's out mid-May. It's let's start from scratch. The star is Alan Wake. Obviously, he goes to this kind of creepy town, and with his wife disappears. He everything starts going strange, and he finds pages of a novel that he can't remember writing. He's a Stephen King style kind of
okay.
popular novelist, and it's framed as this kind of episodic Twin Peaks Lost style TV show. It's even to the point where you finish a level or an episode, so to speak, and you get kind of like an end credit sequence with a song, and then when you start the next episode or level, you get like a previously on Alan Wake kind of thing, which is a really nice little device.
Yeah.
It's kind of novel, and I mean, I'm only like I think like 4 or 5 hours in at the moment, which is maybe, I don't know, a quarter of a third of the way through, something like that. And I think a lot of it's going to ride on the plot.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what is happening, really. But I think I don't know whether it's going to resolve it or whether it's going to continue with this kind of like Twin Peaks weirdness. Kind of kooky locals.
Is it
strange
fun?
things happening? It is fun. It's not. I think it's certain things would give you the impression it's like a survival horror, and it's not. It's not terrifying. It's creepy and it's intense. But from what I've seen so far, there's no gore. There's no horror in that sense.
Yeah.
It's fun to play. There's this sort of light and dark mechanic, whereas if you're standing in bright light, you're generally safe.
Okay.
And you have a torch which can be used to burn enemies,
Yeah.
because they're sensitive to light, and you can't really damage them just with like a standard revolver or whatever until you've burnt the kind of darkness out of them. So
Okay.
that's the light dark play, which I think we saw like last year at E3. Yeah. But that is good fun. That's good fun, and. But like I say, it's gonna live or die by how strong the plot is. So I wouldn't like to make a call on that just yet.
It always worries me when games have been in development for 3, 4, 5 years. You think,
Yes.
well, what has taken you so
Yes.
long? Has something gone wrong? Have people left? Is it not a strong story?
Well, it's a small
or-
team,
Right.
the people who made it. So that that takes time. And also they did at one point, it was originally envisaged as a sandbox type game, like as an open world game, and then they had to take a few steps back and they rethought it as a more linear game.
Okay.
So you do like kind of progress through fairly linear levels now. There's some evidence that it used to be a sandbox game, the way you can see the environments, I think anyway.
Right.
And but they said something like they felt the story was better told if you were a bit more, kind of
guided.
corralled.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think that may be one of the reasons why that is one of the reasons why it took such a long time. But 5 years, it's a long
while,
time to be
isn't
making
it?
a game.
It sounds interesting.
It is
I'm
interesting.
keen to have a
It'll
look.
definitely be worth a look.
Yeah.
But then we said the same thing to you about Heavy Rain. No, it's worth a look.
Dirty.
No, I'm excited to finish.
Can I say, we will quickly nudge Heavy Rain. I've had a few people in Twitter and email form patting me on the back metaphorically and saying, "Well done, Emperor's New Clothes."
Really?
Yes, quite a few people. I also had a few people saying some really nasty stuff as well, so you can't have it.
Hey,
Well, we
hey.
did say it was divisive. didn't
Very
we,
much
Yes.
so.
last
Very
time?
much so.
Yes.
That's exciting that it is divisive. It's good that there are games that do that. Anything else before we get on to other business?
Yes, PlayStation Move had a preview of PlayStation's motion control system.
No, this is the sticks.
other day.
Is this sticks?
Yes, it's
The lollipops.
it's a light up lollipop in one hand and a sub controller which has a little analog stick on
Okay.
it in the other, and a camera on top of your
Yeah.
telly. That's your PlayStation Move kit. Had a go on it with a few of the titles that will presumably be the launch titles when it comes out in the autumn. The one that I liked the most was the one I didn't expect to like at all, which is currently called Move Party, but apparently they're going to change the name because it's rubbish.
Hey guys, let's play Move Party.
Exactly.
I'm all right. Cheers.
Exactly, that put me off as well at the
Yeah.
start. I was like, not sure I'm going to like this. There's a load of mini games, and it's all about having fun.
Yeah.
which can actually turn out not to be any fun at all. But it's it's actually really cool. Like you hold this light up controller.
Yes.
And the camera beams you onto the screen, so you're displayed on the screen.
Okay.
Within the game. And the controller that you're holding on screen is replaced by whatever tool you need
Yep.
to complete the game. So there's one where you have to splat bugs with a tennis racket.
Okay.
So your controller then becomes a tennis racket on the screen.
Yep.
Everywhere you move your hand, the tennis racket follows. And it's a really good way of seeing how well the tracking on it is working, because if you whip your hand from one side to the other, this tennis racket just stays with it perfectly.
Really? So
Yeah.
it works smoothly?
Yeah, very, very smooth indeed. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have any lag there because it would be visible because you're on screen
Yeah.
as video display, and you would totally see it.
But they're not
Just your
selling
hand
this
waving
as an
around.
answer to Natal, are they? Or are they?
Well, I mean, it's time to come out like Q3, Q4 this year, and
Yeah.
Tal's sort of Q4. So
Yeah,
they are going up against each other.
Okay.
it's got the March on Natal because it comes out first.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a different technology because the whole Natal thing is, look, you don't need a controller.
Yeah.
This is still very much controller based, and in fact, most of the time you're holding two. Yeah, it's going up against the Wii, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
Certainly
yeah.
with the sort of games that they were showing off. Because they've got another one, again, with just a working title, currently called Sports Champions. And that's like their answer to Wii Sports, basically. You've got gladiator dueling and table tennis and things like that in there. But then it also works with SOCOM 4.
Okay.
So then you've got a completely different experience, and this is where you really see the difference between what Move is and what the iToy was, because this isn't about putting the player on screen, it's about controlling a third-person shooter.
I'm up for a little bit of that.
Yeah, it looks good.
So I'm always, do these new things ever really kind of catch on? There's always a bit of interest at the start, but we'll see whether this is going to be the breakthrough, really. Speaking about Sony, they're releasing 3Ds, we keep kind of hinting at, is we're being told is the new thing. Just last week, I think it was Hitachi or someone big have started selling 3D TVs.
Samsung.
Is it Samsung?
Yeah.
3D TVs. They were on 5 Live. It was very funny. 1,800 quid a pop, these TVs. The guy was doing a great job of selling it, saying, well, it's 3D, and there's a button that means it can convert 2D to 3D, and you can watch 3D movies, stuff like that. And the interviewer went, okay, do you need any special equipment? Well, you get a set of glasses with it. Okay. How much of the set of glasses if I wanted to buy some more? They're 60 quid each. Oh, okay, I see. That's how that works. But and I think that Sony and Sony are going to release a 3D TV very soon. But also, Sony are releasing firmware for the PS3 in June, I think. That I don't quite understand how this works, but it will mean that it can work you can play 3D games on it. And I don't know quite. I mean, I've got
a bit here.
Oh, go on then. You've got facts instead of me waffling on. Good.
It's just that like you say, the latest PS3 firmware update adds support for stereoscopic 3D games.
Right.
So that means it enables your PS3 to do 3D games. I mean, it's not going to convert all your games into 3D,
right,
but it just allows it to run those kind of games. And
will you need a 3D TV for it, or?
Yes, you will need a 3D capable TV.
Okay,
like you say, the Sony one's coming out soon-ish, June-ish time.
Yeah.
And, here it says, when you do purchase one of those TVs, you'll get access to 4 free downloadable PS3 titles, Wipeout HD, which I thought you saw in Tokyo,
3D.
right?
I played it in 3D, yeah.
Motorstorm, Pacific Rift, Pain, and Super Stardust HD, which would be awesome in 3D as well. So...
It seems a lot of fuss. People have only just bought like plasmas and LCDs, haven't they, in the last 3, 4, 5 years? And so then lay out £1,800, £2,000 on another TV. It's such a big, expensive outlay that are people going to do that thing of waiting for the technology to get better? Because it's always, not brilliant when it starts, and for things to become cheaper. And if everyone waits and no one buys it, then it'll be scrapped. I don't know. I don't really see it taking off. We keep saying this, don't we? But I don't think it's going to be as big as we are told.
I think, I can't remember it, maybe we were discussing it before, it needs to be at a point where you buy a TV and it just happens to be 3D capable as well.
Yeah,
it's not something you're paying lots more money for, it's just something that comes with the TV.
Yeah.
And that's a nice feature, and then maybe you'll start watching some 3D stuff just to see what it's like.
Nintendo, the DSi is coming out in 3D in October, or is it October? Yeah, something
apparently,
like that.
yeah.
And that's glasses as well, isn't it?
No,
this
this
is free.
Yeah, this is some special effect.
Have we seen any of this yet? Has this been
Jane
displayed
found
anywhere?
A very good video.
Yeah, I think we mentioned this last time. There's a certain effect that you can pull off with the DSi camera.
Right. Oh,
We
yes, you
mentioned
did.
it,
Yes, yeah.
And it gives the illusion of being a magic window where you can see pictures moving behind, like it adds depth behind the screen. But we don't know for sure if that's how it's going to work. Actually. But yeah, it seems like it's going to come out in October.
Okay.
Some retailers kind of leaked that a little bit.
Now, I mentioned last time I've been playing the games room on Xbox Live, and there's a brilliant article about it in this month's Retro Gamer, and they're interviewing the people behind it, saying that within the next 3 years there's going to be 1,000 games released, and I think the games are something like it's 40p a go or something, or you can buy a game for £4. It's something like that. Which is maybe a little bit pricey, I think, for those kind of retro games. But then, literally, in the last couple of days, I think a load of people have got the sack, or have left, or have quit. Something has happened, and I think they're downscaling is perhaps the polite way of saying it in that department. So it could be already that their promise of 1,000 games over the next 3 years could be guff. Really, which is a shame, because I do quite like it, and if it's £4 a game, it's a little bit pricey, but there is some nice stuff. Asteroids Deluxe you can get, and some really nice stuff. But if it looks like it could be in turmoil already.
Have you tweaked up your arcade?
Well,
you can customise it.
I've not. You can do. I don't really like any of that. I just want to go and play games. I can't be bothered with changing the. I did have a little go, but then I saw that there were some games I wanted to play, so I played some games, but there's really weird games they've downloaded that they've made available, and they haven't all got sort of online capabilities. So you've got these slightly rubbish old Atari games like Combat, and is that in television or is that Atari? I think it's Atari, which isn't a great game. If you were playing it in Brighton and I was in London and we were playing it, we would have a laugh playing it. But that feature isn't there. You can only play it with someone in the same room as you, which seems a little bit...
It's a shame.
Yeah, it seems a little bit pointless. So hopefully they'll tweak it and work on it a bit. But yes, I've been enjoying that a little bit recently.
Yeah.
Who knows? Now, you people work for Microsoft, I believe. Is that correct?
Sort of.
Okay. The Xbox Live TV channel. Do you know anything about this?
Well, no, we're not privy to those high-level talks. But I did see the news that you were talking about. It was that they were in talks with News Corp.
This sounds brilliant.
About producing a TV channel just for the Xbox.
With old comedy programmes and new content and pre-filmed stuff and all of that. That sounds awesome. If they, I know that Nintendo have their own channel. I've popped up on there once or twice, you know, and I don't quite know how successful that became in the end. But I think it would be perfect for Xbox if they had something like that.
Well, it makes sense, the way the Xbox interface is going, the whole dashboard, video's becoming more and more important on there, so, yeah, why not?
Okay, and sad news, the Xbox Live version 1 has closed down. And I'm genuinely gutted by that, because it makes me sad. I've got a few Xbox games. There's a Star Wars game, and I can't think what it is. Is it Colony Wars? Something? I think it's Colony Wars. I've not played for years, but I've had sat on my shelf thinking, oh, that one day I'll boot that up and I'll have a little go at that online because that's a really good game.
No
Can't do it anymore. Can't do it anymore.
What you should have done is what these Halo 2 fans have done.
Oh,
because,
of course, Halo 2, yes.
They were so upset about going offline. I read about this, I think, on Joystick or something, and they slapped in their Halo 2 disc, got it online, and just have left it. And because they were still connected, their connection remains live, so they can still play Halo 2 online.
Fantastic.
Despite the Switch having been flipped.
That's fantastic.
I'm surprised that works somehow.
Yeah,
but
I know.
good
So
for them
am I,
if
but
that's the case.
Apparently,
I
so
wonder
there's
if they're
about
still going.
8 of them left on there.
Yeah, giving it to the man in your face, Microsoft.
Yeah.
That'll learn them. How funny! It's a shame. You know, I'm quite surprised that it's. I wonder. Well, listen, hey, dear listener, if you're listening to this, has it affected you at all? Did you up until recently still play original Xbox games online? Apart from Halo 2, that seems to be the obvious one that people would still be playing. But did you? Has it affected you in any way whatsoever? I say it's sad. I haven't played an Xbox original game for years online. You know, so it's,
me either.
and that's the reason why. You got a big smile on your face. You're loving it. That'll teach him.
I don't care.
Anything else? Any other business, Jane? Have you got
Well, just
any-
before we came, well, it was today anyway. The came out that Activision have got a publishing deal with Bungie.
Oh yes,
Halo people.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got Halo Reach coming out end of this year, and then after that, their next big action. I think they call it their next big action game will be published by Activision. Probably be multi-platform rather than, you know, obviously they've
Okay.
always made Xbox games.
Yep.
And so that is big news, but especially on top of the Infinity Ward walkouts and the fact that all of these Infinity Ward former staff have now joined. It's called Respawn over as an EA partner.
Right.
So EA, you know, and Activision, big kind of like arch rivals, and now EA have given the seed money to start up this Respawn studio
Fantastic.
with the people who've departed from Activision.
Yeah.
So that's all ongoing. It's quite exciting, actually.
It's all going.
Yeah.
And also, Activision, there are rumours that there's going to be a sequel or a remake of GoldenEye, the excellent N64 games, which is in my top 10 of games of all time. It's fantastic. I was playing it a couple of months ago because they've registered the domain name GoldenEyegame.com. And there's another one as well they've registered.
Like Bloodstone game.
Bloodstone, yeah.
Yes.
So there's kind of talk that they might be reimagining that for the 21st century, which would be awesome.
Yeah, well, it might be awesome, or it might be rubbish.
Hey, you're sounding like that's what I normally say.
Sometimes it's best just to leave things alone and just leave it as something that was pretty much perfect, which GoldenEye was when it came out. And you sort of think, well, you know, do you really need to go back there? I'm not convinced that really you do. The whole first-person shooter genre has moved on so far since GoldenEye. Do we really need to go backwards?
Well, yes.
Okay, that's that settled.
That's that. Next. No, I tell you why,
No,
because
why?
it is such a good game, and it does, you know, even now in its present form on the N64, which, when you play the N64, it's amazing how rubbish the graphics are, and, you know, how kind of sluggish it is. But it's, in comparison, you know, to illustrate how far things have come. But it still stands up as a very exciting, very tense, very intelligent game with levels that are just kind of a nice length that you can play it and not kind of feel that you're lost in it. Still got a fantastic multiplayer. I remember the first time I played 4-player GoldenEye. It's just one of the sweetest things, you know, at all. So I think it would be great to see it on a PlayStation or you know, or an Xbox or a Wii. I think it would be very, very exciting. And there's not been another good James Bond game, I don't think. They're all pretty rubbish compared to that. I think.
Yeah, Quantum of Solace had its moments.
Really? I didn't.
Had potential.
Right.
But why not?
But what do you want out of a GoldenEye game? Do you just want the original game, same levels, same weapons, same game modes, and just redone with HD graphics?
Would be nice if that was a little Easter egg locked away.
Okay.
If they had the original game just locked away somewhere.
Okay.
No, I want it, bigger but following the same storyline would be
really?
A GoldenEye
Okay.
would be good, wouldn't it? I think. Reskinned, made to look all lovely and beautiful and faster and more weapons and a little bit more depth to it. But yeah, let's see what happens, shall we? We can only dream.
Bring it on.
We can only dream.
This will be a little bit old news probably by the time podcast comes out, because this is happening tomorrow. But at the moment we don't know what it's going to be. But
So this is happening tomorrow, but for you it will happen about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Dear listener, if
Crazy.
that makes sense.
It's like some kind of weird time machine.
What's going on then?
Treyarch are releasing their teaser trailer for the next Call of Duty tomorrow. So the theory is that it's going to be set in Vietnam, and that's going to
Okay.
be,
Yes.
They're
Exciting.
talking about making it all kind of a bit like Apocalypse Now, that sort of vibe.
Well,
So-
you will have probably seen that trailer that we are referring to now. We haven't, so why don't you watch that as your homework, and then go to the forum and let us know what you think, and we can talk about that in more depth. Next month.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Well,
this
not
going to
me,
be the
but
best
yeah.
COD game ever?
Yeah, sorry, Jane.
Oh.
You can send us an email.
I
and
will
let us know what
listen.
you
I will
think.
leave something on the message board.
Get on the
for
message
you.
board. Yeah.
Okay, speaking of message boards.
Oh yes.
We were talking about violence in video games and how far is too far, or is there
after
such
the-
a thing
the-
as too far,
the
or
Titchmarsh
should you be
thing,
able to
yes.
censor games according to
Yes.
how violent they are? Okay, the Asif says, video games too violent? Well, if they're going to ban games, they might as well ban films like Fight Club, Gladiator and Saving Private Ryan. I mean, why are films protected from this anti-violence party, but games aren't? To be honest with you, I think the anti-violence party, or should I call them the anti-violence in games party, are the type to let their kids watch an episode of The Wire and not let them play GTA 4 and then blame games when they are talking about drugs. My question to you guys is why isn't the video games medium as respected or as tolerated as other pieces of media?
Who was it? There was someone quite famous, and I can't remember who it was this week, saying that video games are not art.
Oh, it's
Will
Roger
never be
Ebert.
art. Oh, it
who
was,
I like
yeah.
a lot. I think he's
American film critic.
he's a great film critic, but I don't think he gets games at all. And he said himself that he's never played one. And I think he makes kind of quite cerebral arguments about why games can't be art. Not that, I mean, formally he's not saying that games are terrible or
No.
games are bad, but
No.
he's just saying they're not art. But I think that tends to, and the reason why he gets people's hackles up is that tends to stray into saying, look at these films, aren't they wonderful? And I saw this game and it looks really not great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, having said he hasn't played any of them, so there are the occasional misunderstanding
Yeah.
about what a game is or whatever. So yeah, it was Roger Ebert saying they just can't be games. That's just
I
not
like him
what
as
they
well,
are.
but he's made himself sound like an old man.
A little
by
bit.
saying that.
I think stick to films, but I do respect him as a film critic. So
Stoner
what are you gonna do?
99 says the violence in Worms 3D is the most disturbing I've seen. It is pretty nasty. Isn't it? Exploding sheep. Yeah. What else have we got?
Spoogie says, as long as the games don't become photorealistic, I don't mind the violence in them. They're sort of are photorealistic in places.
Yeah. A lot of talk about Postal.
Close,
I've not heard of
yeah.
these Postal games. They sound-
Postal. They're older games.
Yeah,
I mean, they
well,
were
PC
like
sounds a
notorious.
bit-
So I mean,
rubbish.
yeah, maybe if you remade them in HD, then there'd be a furore over that.
Johnny J26 says, I will say the famous airport level did kind of make me think, but Condemned 2 was where I kind of gave up. Didn't seem to make sense. Okay, well, yeah. And as for... Oh, yeah, we're talking about this. For worse voiceover... I know what you're going to say, Japanese translation or whatever, but that little girl in Star Ocean on the 360, I don't know that game or that little girl. K, done my head right in, was so bad I gave it to my son and he sold it. I don't know that game.
Dark Messiah, meanwhile, said, I've been playing Just Cause 2 and I totally agree with Nick about the voice acting. It's just terrible. Worst I've heard in a long time.
Absolutely.
So, all right, I still haven't touched Just Cause 2. I really got to get onto
Yeah,
that.
play it. Awesome
Yeah.
game, terrible
Yeah.
acting.
Oh.
I've got Posompu, who says the most violent and disturbing experience in a video game was the first time I got my head chainsawed off.
Oh, yeah,
In
definitely.
Resident Evil 4.
That was
Hearing the
disturbing.
sound of a chainsaw still gives me the chills. And that's it. That's so
And that's
crazy.
because you were, I mean, it's not because you were doing it to someone else, which, I mean, it's because it happens to you, so maybe that's a different scenario. But yeah, that was terrifying when you're being chased around by the guy with the chainsaw.
Properly freaking
That's a good thing to talk about next month, actually. So I've given you some homework already, but also because that is such a memorable moment in a video game. Let's throw that out as well. Just can you give us just the most memorable moment in a video game that you've ever played, and let's see if we'll try and compile a list of the top ones. Pandyman says, forgot to been wanting to mention this for a while. Diablo 3 is still TBA, even though we've already seen a gameplay trailer for it. You might like it, Jane, seeing that you're an RPG as well as a Blizzard fan.
That's true. Mike Ryu says, I'm firmly against banning. A society cannot grow and mature when it is forcefully shielded from things it doesn't understand properly, as evidenced by that Titchmarsh show, when it seems no one understood what they were saying. I wish people would admit to their ignorance rather than pretend that they have an opinion on a subject they're not familiar with. It'd make TV debates a little more bearable. It's not just video games, but in all controversial subjects. For example, Ian, what do you think about stem cell research? He makes a good point.
Stencil research?
Stencils
are great. Keep researching it. It makes things
controversy
easier to draw.
solved.
Well, listen, that's probably enough business. We've been going for about 3 hours, so that's... Jane, I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you too, Ian.
Thanks very much. It's been a lot
problem.
of fun.
It has been a lot of fun. Well, it's not over.
Post on the forum. You're probably not allowed to, but post on the forum under like a pseudonym.
I will. I think I'm allowed to. Oh, am I not allowed to? I don't know. Nick can always block me or something.
I'm pretty sure that's allowed.
So are you the boss now, Nick?
I'm Grand Overlord of all things.
High five, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Awesome. It's been lovely fun, Jane. Thank you very much. Lots of luck with your new job and
thank
things.
You, Nick. And thank you, listeners. Go to tech.uk.msn.com and drop us a line on the message board. And I won't see you next time, but these guys will.
Ta-ta for now.
I'm scared.
Gamecast from MSN.
In association with Windows Internet Explorer 8.